Hi, welcome back. It's been a while, and this is crochet series number 11. And with crochet series number 10, we started the beginning part of crocheting a beanie. So this one, in this series, we're going to show you how to finish crocheting a beanie. And we thought, since Valentine's Day is right around the corner, we're going to make a beanie for Valentine's Day. Now, these are some tools that you would need to finish this project. And this is just simply a counter, and it's going to count the rows. And it's really important that you have one of these, okay? And you need to have some scissors, needle, crochet hook, and most importantly, some yarn. And today we're just going to use some 4-ply. Let me move this out the way. Some worsted 4-ply yarn that goes perfectly with this 4mm crochet hook. So make sure I'm in focus here. But this is a 4mm crochet hook to work real well with this yarn. The last and final tool that we'll need is a measuring tape. This helps us to measure from the top of the beanie down to the side. Most beanies, depending on if it's for, let's say, a small size or small adult, you might want to do 6 to 7 inches, where a larger adult, you might want to take it to 7 to 8. It depends, but always measure from the top of the head down to just right above the ears, or if you desire to bring the beanie down below the ears, then measure that and go from that and see how that works out. Okay? Now, in series number 10, we crocheted a circle. So everybody, if you haven't looked at any of the crochet series that I've done in the past, please go to YouTube to TP Handmade Collections. And again, you will find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and yes, I do have a YouTube page. And it starts you with the first video, tell you all about the equipment and tools you need for crocheting, and then we work you into doing single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, extended single crochet, to learn some basic stitches. So all those series will get you ready so that you can accomplish this task right here. Okay, now at where we left off was, we should be on, let's count the rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about row 7. So from rows 8 to 21, we're just going to do a double crochet, and we're going to do this in a spiral. Some patterns have you, when you get to the end of the row, to do a slip stitch. When you do a slip stitch and start the next row, sometimes it will show a line where you've started the next row, and it'll start to go into an angle. And to me, it just doesn't look all that wonderful when you have a line going and it's going up in an angle. So this just has a nicer appearance. So we're going to get started. Now I'm going to put on my little hand glovey here. So right here where I have this, we use this to mark our row. And so make sure you keep this. Once you start to go to the next row, take it out, your marker. Okay. And we're going to put that marker right back. All right. So we're going to do a double crochet stitch. And this is the beginning of the 8th row. So right here, I'm going to drop my crochet hook, and I am going to put the marker in, and I'm going to put my crochet hook right here, and we're going to get the counter. clear this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're on row 8. And again, we have to go to row 21. Now, I'm just using a pattern that I always use, but you can use any pattern you want. Look through YouTube. I like yarn inspirations. I'm not, nobody's, paying me to advertise anything for anybody, but I use a lot of different patterns. And so look around, see what you like, go to Pinterest, find a pattern that's teach you how to crochet a circle like this or the beginning of a beanie. All of them pretty much are the same almost. So I'm just doing this in a double crochet. So let's go. We're on row 8 and I'm going to do some stitches with you. You're going to wrap your yarn around your hook, go through the next stitch, pull up, pull through 2, pull through the next 2. Now, the easy part about this is that's all you're going to do until you get back around to this marker again, okay? And then when you get to that marker, you're going to take it out, do a double crochet and put that marker right back in, and then you're going to mark your next row. I mean, it's really just that simple. It's not that hard. And that's what I love about making beanies. The only thing that might be a little bit harder is if you're crocheting patterns and things like that. But this one, real simple beanie, real good if this is your first time making a hat. This is very simple, very easy to do. Okay, choose your stitch. You can even do this in a single crochet. Again, go back to any one of my crochet series with single crochet, half double, or double crochet stitch. Choose one. Right, here we go. Okay, we're almost back to the marker. Now, if you haven't made it around, just pause the camera and continue to crochet. Do one single crochet stitch in each of these stitches. That's all. Just one stitch per of these 2 loops. Just do one. You don't need to do 2. We're not increasing. We're just doing 1 double crochet in each stitch in these 2 bars. That's it. And you're going to repeat this up until you reach row 21. And we're going to see what we get out of that. But again, if you haven't made it around to the marker, don't panic. Don't worry about it. Just pause the camera and just pause your video. I'm sorry. Pause your video and continue to work until you get to the marker. Again, once you get to the marker, this is what you're going to do. 1 stitch, and you're going to be crocheting in a spiral. Remember that. So where you see this marker, simply take it out, make a double crochet stitch right there, those 2 bars. And before you go any further, because I have done this to myself and didn't know where I left off, just always make sure you put it right back. So that way you don't get lost. And continue to crochet in a circle right back until you get to this marker. And the other thing is that you must keep up with, besides the marker, push your counter, your row counter. So we are on row 9. And again, you have to do this all the way up until you reach row 21. So I'm going to continue to crochet. I'll see you back at row 21. See you there. Okay, and we're back, and I have crocheted 18 rows instead of the 21 that was required. I just want to make sure that you can see, because I did a double crochet stitch and not a single crochet stitch. It seems like I don't need as many rows, but let's measure, because this measure from the top to the edge 8 inches. Now with this beanie, I have so many ideas of what I could do. I can add a cuff. I can do a lot of things with this, but since this is for excuse me, for beginners, and this, if this is your first hat, I don't want to get anybody confused, so we're going to keep it simple. Now we're going to finish this hat. What we're going to do is, I always like to have an edge where it comes out clean. So I'm just going to remove this marker. Let me make sure I got my last single crochet in here. Let me make sure I'm in focus. Okay, let's do this last stitch of this row, and we're done with that. We're going to remove this marker. We're going to put it back in. We're going to do a single crochet. Okay, I'm just going to slip stitch and just come up and chain 1. That's all I did. And then I'm going back in and come up and just pull the yarn through the 2. And then I'm going to stick, make sure you can see, stick my marker right here. So you can see that's where I put the marker, okay? All right. Now we're going to do single crochet all around to give it a nice little clean edge. And because it was spiral, it will look uneven, so this will kind of help make it look like it's really even. And we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch. That's it. Don't, make sure you're not doing this too tight. We're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch. And let me also share this with you. If I had used 2 strands of yarn and a larger crochet hook, this would have been a thicker, slightly bigger hat. You can even use a thicker, chunkier yarn with a large crochet hook, and it would have given you an even thicker type of hat. I wanted you to, and this is how I started, with 1 strand of yarn, crocheting, and it's thinner. And this is a little hard for me because most of the time I am so used to using 2 strands, sometimes even 3 strands, or a chunky weight yarn to have a thicker beanie. I just like the feeling of that. And if you live in the northern eastern states where it's really cold, you want that added yarn to it to make it really warm. And you can kind of tell I'm from Illinois, and it used to be, and it still is, very cold. And I learned to just, the 1 strand is just not enough. Now that I'm not in Illinois anymore and I'm in a warmer climate, the 1 strand type of hat seem to fare a lot better. You don't bust into a sweat, because where I am now, it's about 60 or 70 degrees, and that thicker hat is not necessary. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish making this edging. Let's just kind of look. See how that kind of cleans up a little bit there? See that? We're just going to continue on around doing 1 single crochet. Now before we did one double crochet stitch in each stitch itself, one double crochet, and now for the edging we're doing one single crochet. And again, if you're not familiar with how to do single crochet, it's in the crochet series. Go to my YouTube channel and look at it. It's really very, very easy to do. It's one of the earlier stitches that we teach before we go into teaching how to do double crochet or treble crochet and whatnot. Okay, we're almost finished. We're going to keep going. I hope your hats turned out well. And one of the things that I want to show you with another YouTube tutorial, you can go and find a heart, learn how to crochet a heart if you are that adventuresome. And you can add that on to your hat and sew it on with some yarn. And this is a nice gift for Valentine's Day. You can give it to your children, or you can give it to your spouse or whoever, your partner, and it's just a nice gift for the Valentine holiday. We used to make newborn baby hats around Valentine's Day, and we would crochet the hearts on them and then donate them to the hospital the newborn ward, and they would take the hats and put it on the newborn babies. I used to love that. That was really it just made you well, I'm older, so I felt like a grandparent, you know, making those type of hats for the newborn babies to come home in. And so okay, now we're getting done. I just want to make sure that you can see, because the last thing that I want to show you why you need that needle is to weave in loose ends. Yeah, we just about there. How to end your product. When you're making a hat, you have a string, you go, okay, what am I do with this? I have seen people finish making hats and they just cut the string. They don't weave nothing in, and it's okay, but it just doesn't have that finished look. The whole goal is to really not be able to see where the string is. I'm going to show you the inside of the hat, because when I started the circle, and you will see when you start the circle, at the top of the hat, you had a string hanging down. And so I went ahead and weaved the weaved the strand in. Okay, I'm at the end here. So this last stitch right here, we're going to skip this. We're going to go right here. Okay, and then we're going to pull the yarn up and then pull it through here. It's called a slip stitch. I do 2 knots. I'm going to go through like this, and I'm going to go through this one more time, and then I'm going to clip enough so that I can have enough yarn to work with, because I'm going to tell you, if you cut this too short, with the needle, it makes it really, really hard to try and get this weaved in. So I'm going to take this needle and the rest of the yarn. Make sure that well, in this case, you can't really see another color, because sometimes you might be working with 2 or 3 colors, and you want to make sure that you weave so that you can't see the yarn through to the other side. So just kind of go through some stitches and see how I'm just doing this, going through some loops and pull up. Okay, and then you can go in another direction with this. You can, I'm going to just go through here, coming back down on my thumb. And this, you know, like when you washing the hat, you don't want that yarn or something to come popping through, and you don't want to be able to see. You know, it just looks yucky when you have threads hanging out after they wash it. So this gives it some durability too as well. Okay, making sure I'm in focus and you can see this, and just pull it through and just stretch it out, and then take your scissors and just snip. And so see, now you don't really, you know, you can see where you ended it, but it still has a nice appearance. And on the inside of the hat, you can't even really tell. You see this? There was a strand up in here, and it's been weaved in, and you can't see it. So we have just completed our first beanie. And again, you can embellish this any way you like, but I'm going to sew this on my heart so I can have a Valentine's Day beanie that I'll probably give to somebody. But I wish you all the very best. Continue to crochet, pause, start all over again with the video. That's what I like about learning from the videos. You can go slow or fast. So this is Pam Brown from T&P Handmade Collections, and you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and please view my videos on YouTube. Have a blessed day, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.